steps to success. And it talks about it. You got to have your why, your written list, the brief invitation. You're going to learn today about the actual presentation and how to validate it. You're going to learn how to get teammates to help you with the three-way call. And then we're going to show you at the very end how to truly help each and every single one of your consultants. Click. Folks, everything about business is about determining why you did the business. You know, you joined Ambit. What is it that you want out of Ambit? You know, you saw the residual slides paying you tens of thousands of dollars month after month after month. As you build up to that, earning all these weekly bonuses that Ambit is willing to pay you, what are some things you began to think about? Is a new car in your sights? What about paying off some debts? Would you like to have a savings account that maybe you never even dreamed about? How about just more time with your friends and your family? Would financial freedom bring that time to you? Folks, determining why you started this business is one of the most vital steps. I think one of your initial goals needs to be, when is your first promotion coming? So you actually have to put a date to it. So you join today. When are you going to promote to that regional consultant, build that team of 6? When are you going to promote to become a senior consultant, that new team of 18? Think about it for a minute and put a date on it. It shouldn't take you more than a few days. If you follow the step-by-step instructions you're going to hear today, you can do it. I promise you, you can. Click vision boards. My wife and I, this is our one thing that we truly believe has given us all the success, because we believe in vision boards. Vision boards are very simple. You go to the dollar store and you buy a white poster board. You pick up some magazines and you simply start to scroll through the magazines. What are some things that you really want to do? Is it that family vacation? Is it, like we said, the new car? Maybe it's just paying off all your credit cards. Maybe it's buying a house on top of the mountain that overlooks the lake. Maybe it's that new piece of jewelry, that watch, that necklace. You see, as you determine what those goals are, you simply cut the pictures out of the magazine, use Scotch tape or a glue stick, and just stick it onto the white vision board. And if you start to look at that each and every single day, you're going to start to build your business because you want those dreams to become your reality. Now, here's a mistake I've seen plenty of people make. They'll make the vision board, but then they'll, like put it in the closet or hide it under the bed. Hey, you're welcome to come to our home. And when you walk in our house, the first room that you walk into is Debbie's office. And when you look on that window, it's actually scotch taped to the window. You see, that's somewhere where we see it multiple times, day after day after day after day. So it helps us to continue to wake up each day and know why we're doing Ambit Energy. And on the top of our vision board, it actually has those words, why I work my Ambit business every day. So keep this, again, real simple, and you'll start to notice things. Now, look, your vision board will change over time. Me personally, the first thing on my vision board was a soccer ball. Guys, I was dead broke when I started Ambit, and my son was playing on multiple soccer teams, and I couldn't even afford to purchase him a soccer ball. So that was one of the first things. And then as I got my first Ambit check, I went out and bought a soccer ball. I took a black Sharpie. I went to the vision board, and I put a big check mark on that soccer ball. Goal accomplished. You talk about a great feeling. Oh, my goodness. The next few things were like a sports coat, a dress shirt, all these things I did not have. And as I would get the next paycheck, black Sharpie, check mark, sport coat purchased. Just a wonderful feeling. Now, look, over time it's changed. It went to the Corvettes and to the Bentleys and to the 8,000 square foot, 3-story homes on the water. But it started off basic and simple. And we hope that you do the same exact thing. Click. Now it's time to switch gears. We have goals. Now we got to build a business. So at this point in time, what I'd like to do is turn it over to the lady that I only knew for 2 weeks before I started my Ambit business. And she was one of the first people that I ever talked to. And a couple of years later, we actually became husband and wife. It's my wife, national consultant Debbie Atkins.
Thank you, Chris. And as you were talking, I was sitting here looking at our vision board and all the things we've checked off. But you know what? We've got more things to check off, and we need to do a new vision board, put some new stuff on it. That's how you always are expanding your business. I'm going to talk to you about creating your contact list. So you should be on the page that says create your contact list. Your contact list, we say we don't have any inventory in Ambit Energy. Actually, your contact list, that's your list of everybody that you know, is your inventory, because that's where your consultants and your customers are going to come from. So as I said, everybody you know, everybody you've ever met, whether you know where they are or not, they go on this list. So this is any friend that you've ever had, family members, coworkers. Now, that could be people that you've worked with at previous jobs, not that you're working with right now. Yes, those people, but think about other people that you've worked with in the past. Any professional person that you know. You see, our dry cleaner is our customer. I like to do business with people that do business with me. So everybody, your doctor, any attorney that you might know, anybody, they all go on this list. Business owners, organizations that you belong to, everyone that you've ever met goes on this list. And all the new people that you meet also go on this list. Now, like I said, you might not know where they are, or maybe they're in a totally different state. That's okay. They go on the list. Did you get that? Everybody you've ever met goes on this contact list. I heard that the biggest, most successful people have the biggest list. So before I went to bed that night, I had a list that was 12 pages long. I went through the memory jogger. Click to the next page. Now, the memory jogger, you can find it's in your power zone. Now, I didn't go to that memory jogger. I actually went to the phone book and went through the white pages. I didn't know, but I did. I just went to the white pages. You can go to the yellow pages. You can think of an attorney, an accountant, a baker, things like that. Or you can go to the power zone and look up the memory jogger there. But what I want to stress to you is don't prejudge anybody. Oh, they've got enough money. They won't want to do this. Oh, they don't have any time. They're very busy. Don't prejudge people. Put everybody on this list. You see, if Chris had prejudged me and said, oh, she's busy, he would have never called me. And, oh, my gosh, he didn't know what was going on in my life. You see, in my life, yes, I was very busy. I was working 60 hours a week in nursing. But he also didn't know that I wanted out of those jobs. I was tired of spending 60 hours a week clocked in at 2 different jobs. I wanted to do something different. So that's why we say never prejudge anybody, because you really don't know what's going on in their lives, and you're bringing them this opportunity. Now, I want you to prioritize your list. That's just going to be common sense. The people that are closest to you, like your friends, they're going to want to do stuff with you, or maybe your family members. So you're going to go to the people that are closest to you first. Now, I don't want you to eliminate anybody else. We're going to eventually get to every single person on your list. So prioritize your list as to, people you talk to every single day. We're going to go to them first. But remember, we're going to contact everybody. Click. And this is how you do a brief invitation, because now we've got our list, and now we have to pick up the phone and start to call people. It's very brief. I want you to remember that you want to make these calls in less than 2 minutes, 90 seconds, a minute and a half. And how do you do that? Well, you're going to call your friend and say, oh, my gosh, I just started a new business. I got to show it to you. So I'm coming by tonight. That's a brief invitation. You see, you want to keep it very brief. You don't want to confuse the invitation with the presentation. So let's say that it is your dry cleaner and you're going through the window. And, as you hand them the dry cleaning, you're going to say, I started a new business. I'd like to get your opinion as a business owner. So that's another brief invitation. Sure. Say, well, when would you have an extra 15 or 20 minutes? and set the appointment. You see, the invitation is inviting them to see this. So all you're doing in the brief invitation is actually setting an appointment. So let's say it's somebody that you just met, you realize they're an entrepreneur, they own their own business. A brief invitation would be, do you keep your options open of earning additional income outside of what you're doing here? You see, I used that brief invitation one day, and because of that, I've got a whole team down in the valley with the number 9 income earner. Just because of that very simple, brief invitation. Now, he looked at me and said, always, what you got? And I did not explain it to him. That I did not collapse the invitation with the presentation. I said, I have a business presentation tonight, be a short overview, and, come meet me. And he did, and he signed up on the spot. So just remember, keep your invitation brief and just ask them to sit with you for 15 or 20 minutes so you can share this with them and get their opinion. Click. Just remember, the less you say, the more money you're going to make. When you confuse the invitation with the presentation, that means you're telling them about the presentation. You're telling them about Jerry Thompson or Chris Chandler. You're telling them about energy deregulation. That's not what you want to go over in the invitation. Not even the money. Not even it costs $429 to get started, or it's residual income that's going to make us X amount of dollars. Not even that. Not during the invitation part. So don't confuse the invitation with the presentation. Click. But if they insist, well, I don't want to meet you unless you tell me more about it. I want you to use these 3 questions, okay? So you're going to say, okay, well, let me explain it to you this way. How many people do you know that use electricity or natural gas? Well, they're going to say, well, that's a crazy question. I know it's a crazy question. Everybody we know uses it, right? Have to use it. We can't get along without it. Well, let me ask you another silly question. Do you think they'd rather pay less? And they're going to look at you and go, yes, of course. These are silly questions. Well, what I found is with you and I working together, we can earn residual income by referring people to that program. And that's what I want to share with you. You see, these are the 3 basic questions that you can answer their questions without really telling them anything about the presentation. And when you use these 3 questions, you are still piquing their interest during the invitation part to get them to sit down with you for 15 or 20 minutes to show them the presentation. So write these questions down, put it into your own words, however you feel comfortable saying these questions, and they're going to work to your benefit. Click. Now, the presentation is exactly what it says. It's the presentation. If at all possible, get them to the local meeting, the local business overview. I usually don't call it a meeting. I try to call it an overview because that's the last thing people want to do is go to those stuffy business meetings. So I call it a business overview. And this is where we go over how to make money with this company. You see, and then if they say, well, tell me how to do that right now. No, I can't. So because it doesn't make sense, you have to see the charts and the graphs. So this is why I have to sit down with you. So the local meetings will do that. Now, you can also do a one-on-one presentation. And when you do that, you're going to have the DVD and the Success from Home magazine, great presenting tools that the company has given us. So when you're doing the invitation, you're setting an appointment for that one-on-one presentation. So I'm going to come by this evening. I'll bring pizza and I'll plug this DVD in. I got to show this to you. It's going to be very brief, but that's your friend. But let's say it's a coworker. Well, I can't really talk about it here at work. So what I want to do is meet with you outside of work, and maybe we could meet right after we get off work. That's setting up the one-on-one presentation. So when you get together, you have a DVD player. You plug in the DVD. Yeah, you can do in-home presentations also. An in-home presentation is, I've started my new business. I'm going to have pizza and sodas on Friday night. Can you come by at 7:30? I just got to show this 20-minute DVD, and then we'll eat and have a good time. You see, I started my business on an in-home presentation. You see, I started my business. I tried to get people to go to the local meetings, but it was out of town, and nobody wanted to drive 45 minutes to a presentation. So I started on a Friday night. I started inviting people on Wednesday. It was a very simple invitation. I started a new business. I want to share it with you. Come on over. I'm having a select few friends to come over on Friday night at 6:30. We're going to have pizza, and I'm going to just share this with you. It's only going to take about 20 minutes, but I got to show you my new business. And then if they say, well, tell me more about it, you got to get off the phone. Oh, got to go. Got another line ringing, and you get off the phone. So in-home presentations are wonderful, a wonderful way to start your business. And then, of course, if they're in a different city or a different state, you want to send them to your website. You know, it's your website name, .yambitworks.com or .energy526.com or .theambitstory.com. You can use any of those websites, whichever one you like best, and just let them view the presentation online. That really works well when somebody's out of state. Click. Now, your excitement and enthusiasm is what's going to get them their interest piqued. So when you're inviting them or presenting the opportunity, let's say you're at your in-home presentation at your house, you're going to want to welcome everyone and thank them for coming and tell them how excited you are about your new business. And when they feel your excitement, your enthusiasm, and your commitment, even on the phone when you're doing the invitation, that's going to make all the difference in the world as to how much that they want to come see it. You see, you're going to pique their interest because they're going to go, well, oh my gosh, I've never seen you so excited about something. You started your own business? Yes, and I've got to show this to you. That's going to make them want to see what you're doing. Click. So the validation is at the end of the presentation, whether it's the in-home, the one-on-one, the local business presentation, or if they're watching it online. When you follow up, you're going to ask this question. Did that make sense to you? When I have a prospect or a guest at a local meeting, as soon as it's over with, I look to them and I said, did that make sense to you? You know, of course it makes sense to you and I, but to the new guest, you just want to ask them, did that make sense? And if they say, well, yes, it makes total sense, it's kind of a no-brainer, then all you have to do is say, well, sounds like you're ready to get started. And be prepared. You can have a laptop or an iPad or a paper application. Be prepared, because I have had people say, I want to get started. In fact, that entrepreneur that I invited to the meeting that night, when I turned to him and said, what do you think? He's available right then. And so, I got right on and signed him up. So you want to ask them that question. You have to ask them the decision to get started. Click. Sign them up. So the yes is yes, I'm ready to get started. Sign them up. Don't keep talking. Just sign them up. If they say no, you can do a three-way call. And if they say they're not interested in talking to anyone that's making any money in this, say, okay, well, I understand that this is not for you, but would you be my customer? I really, really would appreciate you being my valued customer. And so get them as a customer. If they say, well, yes, I'm kind of thinking about it, but I have some questions, that's when you go into the three-way call, the three-way validation call, because I want you to get your questions answered, because you might be brand new and you're asking someone to get started and they say, well, I have a question. Tell me how this works. Well, this is what you want to say. I'm brand new and I think I know the answer to this question, but what I want to do is get an expert on the line, someone that's helping me build my business, and they're going to help you too. Okay? So You're going to set that validation call up if they have anything other than a yes or a no. Any maybe, any questions, anything like that, you want to go right into the three-way call. So, to bring on the person that's going to talk to you about setting up the three-way call and actually doing the three-way call is the person that moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Texas to build his business. So I'm going to welcome on the line a good friend of ours, senior consultant Robert Poe.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for inviting me to the call. And it is definitely a pleasure to talk to everyone about the three-way call and how important it is to really maximize the three-way call in building your business. You have to understand, first of all, that the three-way call can really, really set your business on a fast pace. You want to set your three-way call up with your ambit leader. And the best way to do that, first of all, know how to do a three-way call. If you don't know how to operate a three-way call on your phone, get with your local leader or get with your local telephone provider and ask them to teach you how to do a three-way call on your cell phone, because we know technology is growing every single day. Now, how do you find a leader to do your three-way call? Well, if you go into one of your local meetings, every single time they tell the regional consultants and senior consultants and executives and all the leaders to stand up, those will be the people you go to do your three-way call. And simply go up to them and ask them, can you please do me a favor and be a person that I can call for a three-way call? And they'll be more than happy to give you their telephone number and their name. So that's how you find someone to do your three-way call. And I always say you want to have at least 5 people in your phone that you can call at any given time to do a three-way call. Now, once you have that prospect on the phone that Debbie was talking about earlier, you want to make sure you speak very highly of that leader when you get ready to put them on a call. So the call might go something like this. Hey, Bill, I see you're really excited and you have a few questions. Hold on just a second. I will get your questions answered for you. What you're going to do is three-way call that leader on the other end. Let them know that Bill just took a serious look at the opportunity and he just have a few questions. So now you're going to click Bill over and you're going to click your leader over and you're going to simply say to that leader, let's just say that leader is Debbie Atkinson. Hey, Debbie, this is my good friend Bill here. He's just taking a look at the opportunity and he has a few questions. Hey, Bill, this is Debbie Atkinson, a good friend of mine. She's built a very successful business and she can answer any question you have. Now, Bill, this is Debbie. Debbie, this is Bill. And then you put your phone on mute. Guys, let the leader talk at that point in time, because now they're going to help you build your business. Now, when you call that business partner, don't call them your upline. Say my friend or my business partner. Click. Now, during that three-way call, your leader is going to do the talking. So just listen. This is the perfect opportunity for you to learn how to build your business. You see, while you're listening, start taking notes, because your leader is going to talk about the credibility about the company. They're going to talk about why this is the perfect timing for your guest or your prospect to take advantage of this opportunity. And they're going to talk about the teamwork that it takes to build your business, as well as the teamwork of the people that's going to help them build their business as well. Click. Now, when you're engaging with your prospect, one of the most important things you want to do is ask that prospect when that leader is actually doing the call to that prospect, that leader is going to ask the prospect on the other end of that three-way call, let me ask you something. What did you like best about the opportunity you saw? And then they're going to ask them again, well, what else did you like? In other words, that leader is trying to find out from your prospect, why would they actually do a business like Ambit? They're trying to find out why, that Chris talked about earlier, they're going to really do something with the business and change their family lives. So they might say, hey, I like the money. I like the fact that I can get back my time. I like the fact that I can fire my boss. So that's the reason why that leader is going to ask that prospect, what else did you like most about the business? Maybe about 2 or 3 times. Click. Now, These are some of the do's and don'ts that you want to do during the three-way call. First of all, you don't want to interrupt the leader at any given time. The reason why you don't want to interrupt the leader is because you just built up all that credibility about this expert who's doing your three-way call, and then if you interrupt the call, your prospect is going to feel that you might know it all. And why did you get someone else on the phone if you know everything? See, you don't want to interrupt that leader at any given time. So the best thing to do, keep your phone on mute. And just believe me, who's ever doing your three-way call, that leader know the right things to say to your prospect. Now, the other thing is, only do a three-way call if the prospect has looked at the opportunity. In other words, when a prospect has taken a look at the opportunity, then you do a three-way call with the leader, they have something to talk about. They can answer some questions and help that new prospect understand the business a little bit more so they can make a more informed business decision. But if that prospect has never taken a look at the opportunity or has never been to a meeting, you got to think to yourself, what do that leader that you have on the other end have to talk about with your prospect? What are they going to talk about? The weather? See, you have to understand it's important, very important, that you make sure your prospect has taken a look at a DVD or been to a local meeting. That way, the leader can answer some proper questions that your prospect may have. And at that given time, that brings us to the last but not least. Let your leader know if you don't need them for the three-way call. It's just a courtesy call or a simple courtesy text. Let your leader know if your prospect wasn't able to get on the phone or your prospect wasn't able to call back on time that you scheduled for your three-way call. And just simply send your leader a text, say, hey, the prospect, they're busy right now, or the prospect wasn't able to get on the call. Or you can simply leave them a voicemail. Just understand your leader is not going to take it personal. They're not going to be upset with you. They understand that sometimes people have other things that come up where they can't make the three-way call. So don't take it personal if you call your leader, and don't get so upset. Just understand that your leader have been there and done that, so they'll be quite okay if you do send them a quick text or call and saying that the prospect wasn't ready. Click. Now, I'm going to bring back on our national consultant, Chris Atkinson, and he's going to talk to you about how you help that brand new prospect that became a marketing consultant get paid. Chris, are you there?
I am, and thank you, guys. So listen, your screen right now should say inspire your new consultants, help them get paid. Folks, this is what we have to do. Our business is twofold. Our business is about gathering an army of consultants, right? People like you and I. But the only way you or anyone ever gets paid is if each and every new consultant simply gathers a few customers. So you need to continue to remember to keep it all simple, right? So you just joined today. The first thing you want to do, if you can, is be your own first customer, right? And the next thing you want to do is just ask somebody for a favor. Look, I like keeping a lot of things generic, so I would tell you if you just joined today, become your own first customer. Next call is to mom and then to grandma, right? And so you just want to ask them to do you a favor, pull out their bill, give you the account number because you're about to save them some money month after month after month on their utility bills. Folks, keep it very, very simple. And the other place your customers are going to come from, believe it or not, is you're going to show this opportunity to some people that just say, no, it's not for me. Great, I understand. Not everybody wants to be a millionaire, but you do want to save some money on your electric or your gas bill and do me that small favor, right? Folks, that's where your customers will continue to come from. Click. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, it's about plugging in. Debbie talked wonderfully about your local meetings. If you live in an area where you can go to one or two or possibly 3 local meetings a week, please do yourself a favor and go to as many of them as possible, no matter if you have a guest or not. You need to continue to go time and time again to your local weekly meetings in your local area, because you're going to continue to do a few things. You're going to continue to learn more about the compensation plan, because it takes a while. You're going to learn more about the company. But just as importantly, you're going to learn more about other consultants. These consultants who you meet, they're going to become your friends, your mentors, and they're going to be people you can call on. So you want to continue to go to every meeting that you possibly can. When you hear about a localized training or a big event, make sure that you get registered and you go. There's local trainings in every market that we're currently doing business in. So go to them. Some of your local meetings do what we call this jumpstart training. Some of them do it before, some of them do it after the presentation. Some of them have them permanently scheduled once a month. So again, as you get plugged into the local meetings, you're going to find out about the trainings. As we mentioned earlier, if you just stay on team526.biz, you can see lots of conference calls listed there, Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. Central, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, and then we do some special calls that we always email out about. So take a look at PowerZone. Go to Ambit University. There's a series of video trainings there, and here's my best suggestion to you on Ambit University. Do it late at night, right? You do not want to be listening to all the trainings during quote-unquote business hours. You know, when you could be making calls to prospects and to other teammates. You want to do that early in the morning or way late at night. Ambit has 2 big events every year, Simulcast and Ambition. Just make sure that you're at these events. Get registered for them and make sure that you're plugging into them. Folks, the biggest thing that you can do is to stay in daily contact. You need to stay in daily contact with that person in your upline that's going to become your mentor. You know, it may be the person that sponsored you. In my case, it was. My personal sponsor is a guy that had been there and done that in network marketing. And so what I did is every single day for 18 months, I picked up the phone and called him. The calls weren't long, 2 or 3 minutes, Saturday, late at night.
Has left the conference.
Every single day for 18 straight months. Every day for 18 straight months. And I invite you to do the same. And for goodness sake, stay in touch with people in your organization. You have to call them. Again, come back to normal life, the job that you go to. When you're at that job, do you stay totally quiet for the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours that you're there? Or while you're there, do you talk to other employees? Well, do the same thing here. Talk to your teammates. Call them. Send them a text. Don't rely on emailing because most people don't read the email. Pick up the phone and reach out and call them. Care enough to give your very, very best. Success can be yours in a matter of no time. Ambit Energy has already become the fastest growing company in the entire United States of America. J.D. Power year after year continues to rank us number 1 in customer satisfaction. Ambit Energy has done what no other business has ever done. And I'm not just talking network marketing. This is the place to be. I hope that you're starting to learn that you're lucky, blessed, and fortunate to be here. We hope you take full advantage of it and that you continue each day to wake up and do a little bit more and a little bit more for your Ambit business. Hey, God bless each and every single one of you. Robert Poe and my wife, Debbie Atkinson, thank you so much for helping so many people out with your words of inspiration today. Folks, take your business to entire new levels, bless a bunch of people, and you will be so satisfied with everything that's going on here. God bless you all, and have great success in your Ambit business. Bye-bye.
Bye.